Well, we should be live. It's been a while since we streamed anything. It's been a very busy month, as short as it is. But we're back tonight with some second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, playing in the world of Greyhawk, playing through a module, the 5 Shall Be One. And tonight we've got Dion. Who are you playing, Dion?
Hello, I'm Dion, and I'm playing Odie, a level 3 fighter, peasant folk hero variant.
You got to slide in that folk hero where you can.
Listen, I gotta be the token somehow.
Jameis, who you got tonight?
Hey, I'm playing the bard, who is a bard. The point is it's the music that's important, not the player. That's why he doesn't actually have a name. He's just the bard. And yes, it is a Pratchett reference for those that get it. Because that's the character from Pratchett is the bard, and the whole point is the song.
Bard the Bard. Bill, who you got?
I'm Bill. I am playing Father Cedric. He is a 3rd level cleric of Zagig and is fond of pranks and jokes.
Yes, Bill finally found religion for his cleric.
Nope.
And has decided on a very chaotic, fun god.
I apologize in advance to everybody.
Oak, who you got?
I've got Grimly, the Dwarven Locksmith. Parentheses, air quotes, locksmith.
Mm-hmm. A fine and noble tradition, locksmithing. Absolutely. Richard's not able to join us tonight. He is traveling, and this game happened stupid late at night for him. So he's getting some sleep before having to travel in the morning. Richard, safe travels, buddy. But last session, so long ago that we played, you guys had finally made it to Karastin's home. He's a very convivial odd mage. And you find out that he has one of the 5 blades, so you now have 2 of the 5. And he has convinced you to journey with him to find the 3rd, which he has some solid information on. He will be joining you as an adventurous team, and you guys made preparations. You got a good night's sleep. He had a few things to help you upon your way. And just for sake of clarity, there are 2 blades in play. Green Suave. Who is holding Green Suave? Odie has Green Suave, which seems to be very quiescent. It hasn't really awoken to anyone's touch at this point. I believe Bard the Bard didn't know very much about it, other than it was wielded by some past barbarian druid follower of Obadiah. And that was about it. So we don't actually know what it does.
Obadiah.
There's a ditty for that, I'm pretty sure. Karastin also has never been able to get it to really do anything for him, but he knows it is, in fact, one of the mythical blades. And then the other one, which you've already had, the Dream Singer. Some of you, Odie has experienced some of the things that it does as you nap, giving you visions of certain things. And I think Richard's character is carrying that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So after a fine meal at Karastin's place, the map that I've got displayed right now, he's kind of just puts it out on the table. This little dotted line here is the proposed route. He knows that the blade is in an orcish city called Garl Inkdal. He doesn't know exactly where it is, but has within an 8-mile-ish, or actually these are 15-mile hex, within about 15-mile-ish area, he's got intel saying that that's where the city is. So he suggests they take a route avoiding as much of the hills as possible. He can actually teleport you guys a fair way. He proposes that just outside of Vikstad, which is the city that you guys were just in yesterday, he can teleport you to some standing stones just outside of Vikstad. Perhaps you guys could spend the night there, or maybe get your bearings, maybe find out some more information if possible, but it would make a great home base, as you will be getting into the Griff Mountains to try and find out where the orc stronghold is, how large it is. He really doesn't know. He does know a few things. The sword that you will be searching for is called Stalker. The sword was purported to be held by a very powerful barbarian fighter. Very fierce in combat. The sword seemed to augment his abilities in melee. Doesn't know much more about it than that. The blade would be akin to the two that you've already have. Old iron, heavy, but strangely well balanced in the hand. But yeah, that's what he knows. And he hopes that you find adventurers / murder hobos might be able to help him out. So before you go, is anyone down on hit points right now? Because if so, you're not. You've been healed by a very good... Yep, exactly.
Yeah, we did some of that before.
You've gotten some provisions. You'll be able to pick up some more at Vikestad. He is wealthy to some extent. As you guys were tossed a bag full of gems. How much were those gems worth, Grimly?
I do not remember. I've slept since then. I do remember making the check, though.
Yes, it was an amazing amount. They are uncut gems, so their true value will only be harvested by getting a true gemsmith to really make the correct cuts on them. But it has a potential great worth. He apparently goes on little vacations through the elemental planes and finds these gems there. So he'll be bringing more of the same to help fund this expedition. So if everybody is ready, he will take you out behind his home to it's a small monolithic area of stones, roughly hemispherical in shape, where he begins casting a spell and kind of a waving, that kind of distortion field you get on a hot day with gasoline fumes in the air, and bids all of you to step through. And he pops through last. Why don't all of you guys make me a save versus poison, please?
Yes, I'm good.
I rolled a 1. I would like to use a reroll, because last I knew we had 53 of them.
You're getting low,
so
but use it if you want it.
I'm going to use one and try that again, because
You don't want to puke?
I don't know
Oh,
if
Grimly's
it's
going
gonna
to
be that or
puke.
something
No, Father
else.
Cedric's
Are
going to
you
puke.
kidding me? Alright, it's better than a 1. Hit me.
All right, still a failure. So you guys pop out in a similar shaped, though less kept up with stand of stones. You can see just ahead of you a little bit. You're in a little rolling mountain area, and you can see just over the horizon there's Vikestad. You're not very far from it, maybe a mile. Most of you are fine coming out of it. You feel like it felt like a roller coaster. You feel this sensation where your guts go up and down, and there's a shifting in your your placement. Most of you are fine. You stumble out. Odie and Father Cedric both, however, heave this fine breakfast you just had moments ago. Yeah. It's very hard on your stomach. More than that, though,
corn.
you're having some issues with this teleportation. It's a sickness that some people get every now and then. So for the next little bit, and I'll tell you when it changes, you're having your vision is a little doubled up, and you feel like just a lot of pain in your guts, which will affect certain rolls. I'll let you know when it passes. But for right now, both of you are violently ill.
Did you re-roll, Bill? Because you've got that second roll there.
Oh, did you, Father Cedric? Did you spend? You re-rolled?
You're muted, by the
Bill.
way.
He's muted.
Yes, I did re-roll.
Okay, so you succeed. So it's only Odie, really. It's just having problems.
Stopping at every bush.
When did I eat carrots? I haven't eaten carrots in months.
potato. I would have remembered that.
Yeah.
It's
All
my
right, so
favorite.
you're within a mile of Vikestad. To the north, to your back is the Griff Mountain Range. So again, his suggestion is that maybe we can pick up some rumors in Vikestad. If there's a huge orc population just in the mountains here to the south, they probably know something, but maybe not. If you've got a better idea, he's open to it.
Well, we've been in Vikstad. That wasn't the most educated place from memory.
Mm.
I don't recall us rolling on the rumor table, but that doesn't seem to be the most educated place. I mean, you can always ask. Doesn't hurt.
Okay. I mean, you're all supplied up. You don't need to stop there for anything, but he
Oh, you
suggests
get a
that.
horses. That's where our horses are.
Ah, yes, you have your horses staying there. You still got another night worth of a rental.
We're going to need the horses if we're going to go into the mountains.
Yeah. The mountains are passable by horse. There might be places that are not, but it shouldn't be too bad. So you make the trek to Vikestad with Odie stopping every once in a while, just headache, double vision, just a really sore stomach. So it looks pretty much the same as last time. You go to the same place you were staying at. Your horses are fine. You still have another night that you prepaid for. So they're not surprised to see you again, of course. Your horses were well cared for.
Mm-hmm.
So Karastin divvies out, we'll say the equivalent of about 50 gold pieces to each of you to use to, try and get some rumors, pass some coin around, just to find out what you can.
All right.
He's not so good at this, and he's kind of flipped his hood up over his head. He doesn't have a very good... The people here don't have a good opinion of him, as they would to most people who delve in magic, being a barbarian settlement. So he's just going to find a corner and order some beers for everybody and let you do the work.
Yep.
Again, you guys have already been here for a night before, so you kind of know the establishment. Some people who you drank with, and Bard, I believe you entertained for a bit here.
I believe so. The first time was with the musical instrument, but that is the singing in there.
Mm-hmm. So people recognize you.
Being attacked by one of the village dogs.
Yeah. There is that. All right, what do you guys do?
So vicious. So he just handed me like 50 gold, basically.
Yeah, I think we lost your... You're very low.
Microphone.
Dion.
Yeah.
Hello?
There we go.
Okay, sorry. So, he gave us 50 gold, and I was just supposed to, walk around and ask for info?
Do what you do. He doesn't know how that works. He's kind of an off-putting gentleman, very odd. So he doesn't know how that whole social lubrication works. But he knows money's involved usually.
See, Odie's not good at that either. So Odie's gonna
Oh, and also Odie's rather upset at the moment.
Yeah.
Delicate.
Yeah.
But I can use that. I want to... If Odie's willing to go with me, I'm going to actually not in this. I'm going to go a different place around town and sort of say, "Oh, my friend here is really ill. He's heard about this really weird orcish remedy that might help. Do you know anything about that sort of thing?"
I'll go
And
with
I sort of lead into the orcish remedy.
Ooh,
and I've got the prop.
Yeah.
I've got the prop here to help me.
Okay. Do you have any social skills for your non-weapon proficiencies? If not, just make me a charisma check.
The best I've got that I can spot is crowd working.
That would work fine.
Okay. So you want me to roll that or just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The forest map, I wish that would just F off. Success by 3. The forest map keeps coming up on my screen. It's really pissing me off because I don't want it.
Yeah. No idea how to stop that.
No. Anyway,
it's not on mine.
Yeah.
All right, so success. They remember you. They remember you having very entertaining the night before, although you do get a lot of scoffs as to an orc remedy. They're like, you're kidding, right? An orc remedy means you bash the brains out. They're not much for weaklings amongst the tribe.
You are seeing this person, right? They're not doing well. That might be the best suggestion that they've come across.
I'm retching into a flower pot nearby.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of orc raiders in the Griff Mountains. They stay away from Vikestead for the most part, but occasionally you'll get some on the outskirts that are willing to trade. Mostly, they try and raid people coming up from the east. It's not happened in a while, though. Orc hunting parties, for the most part, they're out getting game.
Is the trading, is that any particular, basically, is there any particular protocols that you follow to, or just, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, it's usually up to them. If they don't attack you first, they might be willing to trade. Usually that's the sign. If you don't get an axe thrown at you.
What are they generally after?
Furs, meats, cloth, general things. You would be surprised at how mundane the things are they ask for, and they put value.
Okay, I'm gonna do whatever I need to go. I'm gonna buy some of that stuff just so if we ever do come across them, hey, I've got some stuff that they may be interested in. So,
it's like a general store here where you can buy like bolts of cloth and string and the basic things that he's talking about.
Yeah, Odie, hold this on your back, away from your mouth.
Yep.
Okay.
Come to think of it, most of the stuff that they need or want are things that require a profession, like a potter. You'd need to know somebody that does pottery to make clay vessels. You would need to know a tailor or a seamstress or whatever to weave this cloth. So it's things that they lack in their society, but have use for.
Okay, that pot, and I suppose that pot too, since Odie already used it. Okay, fine.
All right. Well, yeah, you find that information out and you go find the general store. You don't have a cart, but you can get stuff that could easily be put on the back of your horses.
Yeah, we've got that chest.
Ah, yeah, the special chest.
The special chest. But yeah, no, we can just sort of get stuff for the horses as well. It's not. We are trying to be. I am going to make us seem an obvious trader as well.
Okay. So, Bard has gotten the tactic of maybe trade goods and talking to a group if you run into it. Oak, what's Grimly doing?
Drinking, trying to find anything through people that may have loose lips once they've been applied with liquor.
Okay. Are you leading them or just listening?
Listening, but throwing in little fishing statements here and there.
Okay.
Buying a round or two here or there.
Have any particular non-weapon proficiencies that help you?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, just make me a charisma check.
Success by 5.
Okay. You find a table of particularly talkative folk, especially since you seem to be buying their first few rounds. You said you were kind of leading the conversation here and there. Well, in what way? What are you trying to find out?
Usually we'll start with like tall tales, legends and stuff, and then start trying to steer it more towards, weaponry, and then basically fishing if I find anything about this sword over the course of, several hours.
Okay. The swords, everybody knows a little bit about the swords. I mean, it's part of their legends, right? Kind of like the Cuchulainn legends, if you were Gaelic. It's all considered fantasy for the most part, but part of their oral tradition. So, I mean, they have all kinds of different. They know there are 5. Each of the swords granted that its masters certain powers. Nobody here can remember exactly what the tales said the swords did. So it's all over the place. And since you already have 2 of them, they don't kind of match. So, that's kind of a dead end you're thinking. Okay. But as far as the orcs themselves, I mean, the Griff Mountains that's orc land. You get a couple of conflicting reports that they're clannish. They don't congregate in large cities or large groups. They're too foul-tempered. They fight each other if they're in too large of a bands. And other folks are saying no, they've heard legends that there's an extensive underground city of orcs in the Griff Mountains.
I just spit at that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. It's nothing to scoff at. I understand that they're very religious. They've got that groomish character that they all pay tithing to, and under his auspices, they're able to be together as a group.
Do I know
They're
of
able to
any
do
maybe
amazing
old dwarven
things.
clans that lived in that area? Because they're talking about living underground. That's not typical for orc. So
Mm-hmm.
could this be an old dwarven colony?
Yeah, there are dwarves around, not in large clans anymore. Remember my pappy saying one long ago they had great cities beneath the ground, but that was not in our memories. Occasionally, you'll get groups of dwarves in the Griff Mountains hunting here and there for ore.
No, if they've got an underground city, they'd had to have taken it from dwarves.
Could
Does
be that.
Grimly know of any in this area, like from history or anything of dwarven kind? Of any great cities that we'll know?
Unless you've got like a proficiency in history, I'm going to make you can do an intelligence check, but you got to be it's got to be a really good check. So you can do it.
Nope.
No idea.
Thought I saw one pop up for a second.
Mm-hmm. In this area in general is it's too chaotic for most dwarven clans to feel secure. So what dwarves there are in this area are small parties.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just drinking, trying to see if I can get any tales that lead to any kind of concrete.
Well, again, someone does relate the tale that there's a large underground complex ruled by their great god that keeps them all in line.
Does anybody know where that entrance would be, or where supposedly this underground city is?
You rolled okay. Basically, they don't give you any better information than Karastan already had. So, like on the map here that he's showing you, he kind of dropped down this. He think it's somewhere in this 15-mile area. They're not any better than that. They'll say, "Look, there's a great lake in there. It's very deep. No one's been able to reach the bottom of it, and it's been said that it's around that lake." Strange fish can be found there if you can brave enough to go and fish those waters.
I appreciate the tales, lads.
Yeah, well, as long as you're buying, we'll keep talking. Some of them remember some of the. Actually, you know what? Give me a luck check and high or low.
Low.
Before you roll it. Low. 18's pretty low. Okay. So one of them remembers a kind of a limerick about the sword stalker, which is the one that you're looking for. And remembers, let's see here. Give me a second. Stalker was wielded by a mighty warrior, but more importantly, he was woodwise. He had a pack of dogs that hunted with him, and was known far and wide for his craft in the woods, which herbs could heal, which could kill. He was a friend to animals, and the blade had an affinity to that and gave him more powers along those lines. Or so the ballad goes.
That's a terrible limerick. That's a rock and roll.
Yep. Which does a little contradict what Karastan said, that he found out that Stalker was a warrior's blade.
No, mix. Maybe it's a ranger's blade.
Could be. Maybe it's a multiple purpose item.
It's for the multi-classed individual.
Oh no, and that Odie's was more hoe than blade, so maybe it's just it's got more one ability to it. A quick question, Bert, while I'm interrupting. Do we know about Garay Inkol, or is that
That
just
is the
what we
name
can
of the
see?
orc city, or at least
Do we
Karastan
actually know
believes
that
that
is-
is. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
we
He
actually know
knows that
okay.
that's the name of it. He knows that it exists as well. He knows it's more than just made up stories to frighten children with. He found the name in some old tomes. But where it's located on the map is his best guess. It's somewhere in that 15-mile area.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Father Cedric, what do you?
Yep. What's Cedric doing?
Would I be able to find any fireworks?
Fireworks in a barbarian village. Give me a luck check.
All right. Let's call high. Oh, maybe it'd help if I actually dropped it in the right place. No.
No, unfortunately not. They know of them. It's an old man that comes every year. Have a great celebration with these colorful lights in the air.
What
They
about
warn all the local kids though, because he's got a penchant for short kids with hairy feet.
And he smokes a man weed.
what about ball bearings or marbles?
Oh, wow. Yeah, those are not very common. The best you're going to do on that is slingshot. Basically, lead balls.
Okay.
Which you can buy that at the general store.
Okay, I'll probably get some of that.
Okay. Are you doing anything to try and find out any information about the Orc City, or?
I mean, I'll chat people up as I, buy stuff from them, so they won't be like, "Hey, why does he want to buy so many of these iron balls?" But
Okay. I tell you what. So you're going to be talking to the general store proprietor instead of anyone at the bar.
Right.
Got any non-weapon proficiencies that help you with talking?
That would be skills. Not really, but I roll the dice whether you'll let me use it for this or not. But I've got soothing word. Can I use that in conjunction with saying anything, or that's
not really, because you're not needing to calm anyone down. So just make me a charisma check just to see if anybody's willing to kind of open up to you.
We can do that.
Everybody here is fairly friendly already, so soothing words isn't really helpful. Okay. Actually, yeah, he has the same story that Bard heard. Is that, oh no, they're not all bad. Sometimes they'll barter. They like blankets and furs. They like clay vessels. The larger, the better. Very homey items. Bags of flour.
These are the orcs when they come in to trade?
Well, they don't come here, mind you. They usually will, the base of the mountains, and travelers that are coming through or coming by, merchants especially. Sometimes they will stop them and trade. Sometimes they'll rob them. It's hard to tell.
Is there anything that people do to sort of lessen the chances of being raided or robbed?
Well, a strong show of force, always a detriment. They seem to be more willing to trade when the surety of a raid isn't on their side.
Okay. It's good to know.
That's basically all that they've got here. Probably Bard will come in soon after and already starting to buy stuff that the shopkeeper was telling you about. Odie, were you drinking?
No, I'm.
All right. Karastan pushes a beer stein over to you, says, "Drink up. It helps. Really, really." If Odie does drink it, the alcohol actually does help. And so, you're left with nothing but a headache after a little while. You stop puking. Everything feels, Your sight's back to normal. You just left with a bad headache. It's getting better the more you drink.
All right, I just nurse that beer.
Okay. I think that's pretty much all the avenues that you folks are trying to do, unless Odie, you want to do something now that you're back in commission. Bard and what's your character's name again, Bill? Cedric. Yeah, Bard and Cedric have left the bar. You can see them walking over to the general store. Grimly is sitting down, drinking.
I think I will. Are there like farmer types here? Farmer folk?
Absolutely. Fishermen primarily, but they do keep sheep and some other livestock. You're early in the day, so there's only a few here. Not too many.
I will just shoot the shit with some of the common folk, because being like a farmer myself, like there's definitely common ground I can find with them, and just while I'm nursing a beer, shoot up convo and stuff, and chat, and
Okay.
see what I can drum up.
All right, same deal. Unless you've got a non-weapon proficiency in speaking to people, just make me a charisma check.
I got agricultural. That's it.
You know what? I'll let you roll that because you were specifically looking for some farmers. So you're letting them know, that you know what you're talking about. Roll that, and this is going to be a little different than what other folks got. So let's see what you get first.
Success by 4.
Okay. You start talking shop about, the weather's different here, the seasons are different, talking about how the growing climate's different, and they talking about, what grows well, what doesn't. And it does get around to talking about raids. Honestly, orcs don't tend to raid the farmsteads that are scattered here and there. They don't know why for sure, but they have a trick. If you think you've got some orcs that are waiting for the dark or waiting to take out your sheep or steal from you, if you blow on a goat's horn or ram's horn, sometimes they'll come out, they'll deal with you.
A ram's horn. You know where I can get one of those?
Well, I got one right here if you've got the silver for it.
How about I give you a gold for the good, buy us a couple of rounds for the rest of the night.
All right. Farmer sells you a tail and a horn.
All right, and I have 1 less gold.
Yep. You got a curvy ram's horn. That one end has been capped with a bit of brass for a mouthpiece.
Ram's horn. Okay. Ta-da. Yay! I'll mingle, and after a while I'll go up to Grimly and show him the ram's horn with a big old grin.
Actually, so you approach the table that Grimly's been drinking with, and you show the horn off. Everybody at the table kind of slaps the table and just starts laughing.
I look over and go, what?
Old Ned sell you that?
Yeah.
He tell you some tale about blowing it and keeping the orcs away?
Yeah?
Yeah, they start just laughing again. He tells that tale to everybody comes through here that are asking him how safe the roads are. He goes on saying that something about the orcs. They don't like the sound of a ram's horn being blown. He sells a lot of those. We're not exactly sure where he gets all the horns. He doesn't even have flocks of sheep.
Is that guy still there?
No, he's gone. He took your money and left.
He's gone. All right. And nod. I go, oh, well, it's still cool. I try to blow on it and see if it works.
Yeah, it's kind of, you're not exactly sure how to do it, so it makes kind of this flatulent sound. You can practice it a bit and get it better though.
No, it's perfect the way it is.
Grimly, the same guy that was telling you about And this is an older, this is one of the white hairs, right? So this is one of the grandpas. He's like, don't make fun of old Ned. Old Ned knows some of the old tales. It was once upon a time. Our forefathers and the orcs got along much better than they do now. I think there might be some kind of oral tradition about a greeting with the horn. I wouldn't take it too lightly. Might work. Everybody else just keeps laughing.
Well, all old legends come from a grain of truth.
Yeah, and a fool and his gold are easily parted from one another too.
Yes, they are.
So after a bit, Caraston, gives you a couple hours. And he finally gets up and says, well, if I drink any more, I'm going to be quite inebriated. I think we should move along if we're intending to today. There's a lot of daylight left. We've got many miles to go in the mountains, and I'm afraid I can't get us there any quicker than our feet can transport us. Or horses. I understand you have horses here. Fascinating.
Yes. We have horses.
I once spent 3 years as a horse. Spell went horribly wrong. It was the best 3 years of my life. It was a good time.
I ask him if he knows how to play the ram's horn. I hand it to him.
Actually, let's find
Yeah,
out.
don't ask the bard or anything.
Yeah.
That's too easy.
Nope, he has no musical talent whatsoever. He gets a
I
nice
hand it to-
raspberry-sounding fart out of it, much like you did.
I giggle. I give it to Bard. Here you go.
What's this for?
Apparently, if you blow it, the orcs might come trade with us, or they might come kill us.
So
One or the
good
other.
chance either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The key is to puff your cheeks up before you put your lips around the thing and blow.
So did you take any musical instruments as a non-weapon?
Yeah, I've got a musical instrument as one of my first. Oh, hell yeah, I'm a bard. I think I get that by default. Yeah.
Yeah, you get it to get a nice tone comes out of it. Everybody in the bar kind of stops for a minute, looks over at the table. Few folks nod that you were able to get the right note out of it.
Yeah.
Is that what it's supposed to sound like? Says Caraston.
Yes.
Well, it's not altogether unpleasant, I suppose. Well, as I said, I'm about one beer away from being completely snookered. So if we're going to move along today, I believe we should, unless you wish to stay a night, which would be fine.
Well, we can. How common is Orcish to know, Bert? That was a question.
In this
I've
area?
got tons of. Oh, in general,
Yeah.
I'm thinking my bad. I've got tons
No,
of
it's,
language slots open.
It's a fairly common language to take as a
Okay,
secondary.
I'm going to take Orcish as one of my extra languages, and I've got like 4 or 5 I can take. So I'm going to take Orcish.
I mean, further
Maybe
to
that-
the east, you've got entire orc cities. So
That might be also one of the reasons why they picked on me to come out here, is because I can speak Orcish.
Mhm.
Right. Sweet. So can you ride a horse, Capstan, or do we need to get a cart for you to sit in? Or
Oh no, as I said, I spent 3 years as a horse. I think I would know how to ride one.
yes.
How did you ever turn back?
Well, it involved a rite with a particular witch and a particular full moon. It's a bit blue to go into. I'll be honest, but it worked.
Oh dear.
So he's kind of leaving it up to you whether you want to push on today. It's early, it's not even midday yet.
I'm happy either way, guys. How do you feel?
Yeah, as long as we get some equipment for camping a bit more comfortably, I'm good to head out.
What
have
did we
horses
know
now.
about camping? We didn't know anything
Yeah.
about camping.
Yeah, that was the thing last few episodes, right? Nobody has any kind of survival skills or
Nope.
yeah. Karastin doesn't either. But now that you have horses, yeah, you guys can get some like thick blankets, sleeping bags, that sort of thing.
We've always had horses since we came out of the first city.
Rock climbing gear.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Rock climbing gear, extra rope, grappling hook.
Horseshoes with little spikes on them so they can step on the road
No.
properly and grip it.
Can we trade like some of our gems for actual currency here? I know like not a lot is possible here, but
Yeah, it's not a huge trade village, but you can get some. I mean, up to 100 gold, you can get traded out. You're not getting the best price for the gems at that, but
well,
if
we
you
can
just
wait
need coin, you can get coin.
And we've
then. Yeah,
got
we can
horses.
just wait then. We're not hurting.
So, gentlemen,
Forward, home.
forward then. Okay, so on the map again, each of these are 15-mile hexes. So it's you are on horseback, so you can travel a fair number of hexes in a day with a lot of stops. So 30, 60. So like if you travel the rest of the day, you will end up at nightfall right about there on the map. I think you can see my little thing. Maybe.
If I look at the mainstream large screen, then yeah, I can.
Here, pointer. Ding! Right there.
Right. Okay.
So you can get to the base of the Griff Mountains along the way. The trail that he's kind of marked out is one that is an easy enough climb for horses so that you won't need climbing gear. There's a path that gets up to this kind of plateau where he believes the city is, at least near enough. So that's why you've got that little go around. Now you can do a more direct route and go straight through if you would rather, but the horses may not be able to make that.
No, we're all about comfort. We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
Stick to the easy route. That's it.
And no one has mountaineering either, I would imagine.
Yeah, I want to look out for the horse's well-being as somebody who deals with animals and
Okay.
stuff. So.
Well, then you get about that far during nightfall. During this trip through away from Vikestad, you pass a few merchants here and there. A lot of farmers are heading into the city with wagons of produce that they hope to sell there, or maybe just stockpile, get some coin for. Who knows? Some wave, some don't. Nobody tries to stop you. So you get, by the end of the day, you make it to right there on the map. Karastin says he's not quite sure how to set up a camp. Maybe we should stop a little bit early so that we can figure this out, as he looks at these various sticks and cloth that make a tent.
Yeah, we should. That's a good idea.
Why are the instructions printed in Undercommon?
You have them upside down.
Yeah, we turned it around there and overcommon.
Overcome.
Okay. You set up camp as best you can. Fire or no fire? You are in a fairly, it gets a little cold at night, but you
I
have
figure
to.
if we're in a hill region, fire shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
It's more, my worry would be more about having orcs come across us when we're not ready for them. If we have fire, we may draw their attention before we want to encounter them properly.
I guess that would depend on the direction of the wind. Is it blowing towards what we think is that city entrance or away?
Well, is it going towards the mountains or away from the mountains?
Yep. So it's blowing. It would be blowing your scent up into the mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe no fire and just use those heavy blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. All right. Night passes by pretty uneventfully. None of you are really used to camping out, so there are animals around. I assume that you set some kind of watch. Whoever's on watch might get started by there are large predators in the night. Nobody comes particularly close to you. They know the stink of men and stay away unless they're starving, which they are not. However, in the morning, even though Richard isn't here, his character has the dream blade, and he's going to relate a dream that was very vivid to him in the night. He didn't get up. He did get up and walk around, but it wasn't as bad as what has happened to Odie in the past. Now, give me just a minute here. Let me find it. Okay, yeah. Well, where's my handouts? Come on. Sorry, this is not easy to find everything in here. Come on, handout 6. Where are you?
You dreamed handout 6? Interesting.
Yeah, so the dream is just about a giant bloodshot eye that just seems to stare at him all night. It's very vivid to him. He remembers getting up and walking around it. He half thinks that it's a statue at first, but then the pupil kind of followed him around. That's all he remembered.
Hmm.
All right. So otherwise, the morning, have some food, break camp, and you travel on. So by midday, you guys are able to move to the pass that Karastan knows about. If I can get the stupid pointer to work, come on. There. Okay, you're in the mountain pass there, heading up, and it doesn't look like it's like a wagon trail. It looks more like it's a game trail, which would not be surprising considering on his map you know that there's a big lake up top here. So animals probably do go through here to get to that lake. It's fresh water. It's a source of running water. Makes sense. So you head up. Anyone riding forward as an observer or a scout or anything like that?
I will.
Okay. Roll me a d10.
Oh boy. What? 8.
Okay. You see ahead of you on a trail, it looks like there's maybe half a dozen, 5, 6, maybe 7 orcs that seem to be hunting. They have spears and nets, and they're following the game trail. Apparently they have a lot more experience in this than you, as they're following animal prints, tracking, hunting. They don't notice you.
How far ahead am I?
They're probably a good, I don't know, quarter mile ahead of you. You can kind of, because the pass itself doesn't really wind much, so you can see pretty far ahead.
Okay.
They're also upslope, so your smell isn't going in that direction very much.
Am I close to the party, or did I go too far ahead?
That's up to you. You're not much of a scout, so you're probably not too far ahead, I would imagine, but up to you.
I'm gonna flag them a bit, like wave them, and like motion to Bard, and like do a little like horn pantomime.
Haven't you got the horn? It's your horn.
I gave it to you. You're the Bard.
I assumed you kept it because that'd be the sort of thing you'd be keeping. I just don't know how to play it.
Alright,
I assumed
fine.
you kept it. I mean, if you say I've got it, fine. I thought you brought it, you would have been playing around with it.
I'll say you gave it back to me then. I thought you kept it when I gave it to you to play.
I can totally see.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because he like showed me how to blow it the other night. I'm gonna try and do it now, remembering like okay, cheeks and then into the horn.
So you have it and you're gonna try and blow it.
Yep.
Oh my. All right, so it makes that
I was going to do
flatulating
the same
sound again.
thing, but yeah.
Some of the orcs look in your direction.
I'm waving. Like
Okay.
This is where we get attacked. No, 7, that's really fair.
About half of them break off, coming towards you. Not rushing, but walking towards you.
I dismount my horse and just nonchalantly like wait, or like I'll maybe like close the gap a bit, like walk the horse along, and my party's still on their horses, I'm assuming, so they're gonna catch up a little faster.
Still trying to catch up for a start, yeah.
Yeah. Once they're in earshot, I just let them know like I have more friends on the way. Like we come in peace.
Okay. What language are you saying that in?
I think I only speak common. Let me double check.
Okay. Well, they don't seem to be responding to what you say, but they do come up within a spear's throw of you. I will add again that they have spears.
Yeah.
They kind of spread out, so they're not close together. So far, nothing aggressive, really. One of them starts speaking. It's the Soloese dialect, which is the human dialect from the area, which is not the same as trade common. So you probably don't speak it, but you've heard it spoken.
Right.
And he's not great at speaking it, but he's trying.
I hold up a finger, like, one moment, and I look back to see if my friends are, like, coming closer yet.
Okay. When you turn to look back, one of them throws a spear at you.
Oh, this bitch. Okay.
What's your AC with no dex bonus?
5.
Okay. So Odie turns around to say something to you guys, and you see a spear hit him like right in his back.
Does it hit or just chink
Oh
off?
no, it hits. It hits.
Okay.
I just need to check something here.
How much damage is that what you're checking? What's the D6
Yeah,
spear?
I want to see if there's
D8
anything
spear?
special. Seeing if there's anything special about their spears. Give me a second.
They're probably infected. Well, there goes the trade option.
Okay. Yeah, nothing really special about them. Take 7 points of damage, Odie, as you are about to talk to your friends, and a spear right between the shoulder blades, knocking you off your horse.
No, I was already off my horse.
Okay, knocking you to the ground.
Ow! 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 What the hell? I'm gonna try to like pull it out and.
Okay, what do the rest of you do? The other two orcs aren't like running to the attack or anything. They're just kind of sitting and watching as Odie squirms on the ground. Anyone?
Do we the rest know what time of day is this?
It's like midday. It's high noon, if you will.
We can see where the attack came from.
Absolutely. Odie wasn't that far ahead of you.
We can see the orcs. In other words.
Yeah, you can see the orcs.
I'm going to quickly dismount, and 1, to try to keep my mount from getting hit, and 2, to try to get into the shadows.
Okay. Easily done. There's a lot of rock around you that you can slip into a shadow.
Or think I slip into a shadow.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make me that roll. In the special box.
Only those on StreamYard can see the roll.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
actually bothered. Yeah.
Yep. You slip into shadows, as far as you know. Bill, Jameis, what are your characters doing?
Mind you're muted, Bert. Bill. Bert.
Bill, we cannot hear you if you're talking.
You're muted in StreamYards.
I hate when that happens. No, I'm gonna. I mean, as soon as I see Dion getting hit, I'm gonna go check on him.
Okay, so he's enough ahead of you that if you take your full action, it'll take you basically around to get there. So you run towards Odie.
Okay.
What does Bard do?
I'm staying on my horse, but I'm also going to go up to where Odie is.
Okay,
And sort of,
so you're staying on your horse. You say, are you charging in, or are you just kind of moving in?
I'm going to charge in, say, sort of more like a front position. So sort of, I'm positioning myself in front of the others. Stop that! In Orcish.
All right. In Orcus. Well, as you're charging in, the two orcs that hadn't thrown the spears kind of go off to the side so that they got some cover from you. The one that threw the spear at Odie kind of plants his boot on your butt and yanks the spear out of your back, Odie, and then offers you his hand.
I take it.
Okay. Yeah, he helps you stand up. He kind of dusts off your clothing a little bit. Bard, you run up. What do you say in Orcish?
Stop that.
Stop that.
Because I just sort of like, hey, stop that. Hey,
one of the ones that kind of went off to the side, to the right, kind of calls back and says, you speak the clan tongue. Good.
It's a bit hard without the tusks, but
You don't slur the words properly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to know if your friend was ghost or real.
Ghost? There's ghosts here?
There have been strange things in hills. Yeah, the guy that's like the orc that picked you up has kind of brushed you off, and he's checking the wound on your back and says something. Bard understands it. You don't. He's just like, you won't die.
I can sort of quickly say things like, they thought you might have been a ghost. Don't worry.
What's a ghost? What? A ghost?
Spirit.
Yeah.
Cedric, you walk over as it looks like Bard speaks their language anyway.
Or I'm just grunting. You don't know. You can't tell.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely a language.
Yeah, does Odie look like he's hurt?
Oh, he's definitely hurt, but he's not dying.
7 damn points of damage. Yeah.
Well, I'll do my best to bind his wounds and help him out there.
Carsten is with us. Just checking. I know you didn't do anything.
Yeah. He's slow. Okay, he in fact doesn't know how to ride a horse. He thought he knew, being a horse for a few years, but knowing what a horse likes and being able to ride a horse are two different things.
Yeah. No, I was just checking to make sure he was actually with the party.
No, he's there. Bill, are you casting or just trying to staunch his wound?
I mean, if it doesn't look too bad, I'm just trying to staunch his wound.
Oh, I think it's bad. Odie, I mean, how many hit points do you have left?
It took me to almost half.
Yeah, okay. So it's a pretty bad wound.
Well, if it's that bad, then yes, I will cast a Cure Light Wounds. So that's...
as he does that, we have spirit protection from ghosts. Because you can see him, Cedric, calling on this god, prankster god. Okay. I slap you with this rubber chicken to make you feel better.
You get 8 points back, Odie.
Well, you got all your points back then.
Yes.
I says no.
Huzzah.
Ghosts have been chasing off all of Our meat, hard to feed tribe.
We come to see tribe. We have things for trade.
Well, we trade. We trade here. No one sees tribe.
Do you guys know of special swords?
I assume you're
Ask them
translating
that.
through Bard.
Yeah, I asked Bard to ask them, do they know about special swords?
Do you want to reveal that straight away?
I mean, it's orcs, not barbarians.
Okay. Well, that's
Silly
their
human
swords we're trying to
legends.
find. It's their swords we're trying to find. That's the orc swords we're trying to get to.
There is a lake nearby. We could ask if there's any tarts distributing weaponry from the lake.
The original political system.
I'm king.
So do you ask him about the blade?
Sure, I'm gonna ask about that. Solid.
All right, he's like, no, we are hunting. Use spears. Axe is better. Blade's hard to keep in good repair.
Do you have any people that may know of old legends of blades?
We have shaman.
We would like to speak to the shaman. We come here looking for. We have trade, or if you can,
Right.
we could discuss
Yeah,
with the
so-
shaman and that could be gifts.
Speaking the language also means you know some of the cultural clues and
Yeah.
tics and such. So they just don't trust you, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll trade, but
I get a +5 reaction. Everyone likes me.
well, they're talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna non-violently take out the magic sword to show them like this.
So when you do that, one of them nods and kind of ribs one of the other one and says, it's not to you, but you hear it. He says, oh, that looks like Groomish's sword.
Groomish? Who's Groomish?
Okay, so this, I guess this would have come up. If you speak Orc, you know Groomish is their deity.
Ah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that's the sort of thing Bard would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need Thybor here to get us in.
Yeah.
Well, you
might be
have
around somewhere.
Groomish's sword.
No.
Oh, put on sunglasses. We're on a mission from God. Or at least Capstone.
We'll trade you 2 cartons of cigarettes. Yeah, so it's not accusational, and they don't look like it doesn't offend them. It's just they have the questions like why you have Groomish's sword? That's a holy sword.
Ask them that I really would like to speak to a shaman about it.
Hey, Bard, why don't you tell them Groomish, whatever its name is chosen us to unite all these swords on a holy quest.
Sure. What the hell? I think
All right,
die.
so you're gonna lie. Do you got any particular talent at lying?
Oh, what do you want? Yeah, crowd working's the only real one you got. I don't even know if lying.
No, you know what? I'll take crowd working. If you want to weave a tale here and try and sell them on a tale, I'll take that. Sure, give me that roll.
I'm gonna assist with interpretive dance using the sword.
Success by 4.
Oh, you fail because of the interpretive dance.
Yeah. Oh, but that was a -10 penalty. Yeah.
Okay, so they look a little shocked at this. It's like, why Groomish use flesh human?
Because we're disposable. If something bad happens, then it doesn't hurt us.
One of them's like, checks out.
Smooth.
How do we know like going to a shaman wouldn't be the equivalent of going to like the Westboro Baptist Church?
Mhm.
That's what I worry about.
Could be bad.
Listen,
Yeah.
Very bad.
I'm down to fight.
So look, we take you to Inkdal, but only if you know orc. You only slave or food. Which are you? One of them is like quick to add, oh no, we don't eat you. No, human meat's bad. We feed our animals human.
Tell them we're soldiers.
We you take much of you. There's problem. Because we're here for good wishes and mission. So
Tell them I'm a great hero from my people.
Okay. If him hero, is he hero food or hero slave? Only
Hero.
those go in to Inkdal. Not my rule.
No.
I think that's the two options. Slave is the one that's not going to get us immediately eaten, but slave.
Yeah, I guess.
Slave is the option we're going with. We go with option slave if we have to, but we're sort of like third category. We're special. Oh, that could have gone bad. Oh, excellent. I don't know. That is rolling dice. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, I don't think that is a good sign.
Okay. Look, we'll take you to Shaman. We'll take you to Inkdal, but slave or food, no other choice.
I said we're going with the slave option, but we're not happy about it.
Yeah.
We have furs and cloth and that as tribute to passed away.
Gems.
Okay. Well, they're not. I mean, they're. Yeah. If you want to do some bargaining now as well, it's up to you. They really hesitant to take you to Inkdal because I mean, you see them all right, Bard.
Yeah.
You see them all right. They don't want bad things to happen to you, but bad things are going to happen to you if you go to Inkdal. You get the idea. The city is enormous, and these orcs do have an idea of reckoning. You get the idea that there are thousands of orcs underground.
Capstan, can you teleport us out if there's trouble?
Absolutely not.
Excellent.
I'm pretty sure I can save myself, but you're fucked. So yeah, what do you want to do? Actually, Karastan gets close enough to you, Bard, and tells you that he has ensorcelled one of the group. Actually, it's the one that threw the spear at Odie. Has just been kind of sitting around with a dumb grin on his face.
Damn charisma spells. Okay. Well, if we went in as slave, what would going in as food do versus going in as slave? Is it just you take us?
We'd take you directly to the animal pens, where you would be butchered and go to feed.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We're slaves.
Well, plenty of time for you to change your mind.
Yeah.
You join us on the hunt. We have much walking to do before Inkdal.
Mm-hmm.
Must bring back food, unless you have food. You have food?
Do we have food? I don't think I didn't specifically buy any trade item food.
You basically just have rations. You just have your own rations. You got trade goods, which they're happy to trade with, but no food. They've got to bring back
good
food.
at hunting? You any good at hunting, Odie? Or Grimly?
I know a good amount
I'm a
about
city boy.
animal handling and animal lore, so I can help.
No, no, no.
If there's some
Worst
food
case,
trap behind the lock, I can get into it.
I suppose worst case, we're riding the food into the city.
Grimley, I've not forgotten about you. As everybody has decided that you were, in fact, going to continue on to Inkdal, one of the three orcs say, "How about your friend back there?"
I figured that when I was talking to Bard that I would have come out once I saw there was friendly negotiations.
One of them had his eyes on you the entire time. You probably realized this. And just
Yeah. It's like I stood behind. I was in the shadow that I could see, but not where the sun was shining right on my head.
He tells you, won't reach Inkdal tonight. Need to bring back game as well. You help hunt?
We'll help. Not good at it, but we'll help. We'll help. We're very helpful. Yeah.
We'll help hunt. Make it faster. Then we get to Inkdal tomorrow. Yes? Okay.
Yep.
And they just kind of string out in front of you. And they go back to trying to track some animals. You guys try and help?
Yeah, I'll try and help.
I don't have any skills, but I'll help whatever I can.
Yeah, this is miserable. Everybody go ahead and just make me wisdom checks.
I'll need to rejoin because my internet decided, fuck you. That's why.
Success by
shit.
2.
That's it.
Holy shit. With my
Okay.
9
I
wisdom,
mean, you
success
kind
by
of,
7.
you guys that rolled well, kind of see what they're looking for. I mean, you're perceptive enough to see that, oh, it's this kind of track you're looking for. So you help them track down the animals. If anybody's particularly good at a spear, you might even help them take some down. So they're mostly mountain goat up here. They are able to drop several with you guys helping to find track. So you make it in basically another hex heading towards the big pond that you know is at the top. But eventually, this does take the better part of a day. They're not very talkative, but you know they appreciate your help and they help you along as well. You guys make camp for the night. They are told that there are many groups out hunting. They have thousands to feed. Goat is it's delicacy, so they were out gathering for that. There's a big feast, a holy day coming up that they're trying to collect for. So nightfall's coming. How do you want to handle this? You got 6 orcs. Because our whole party was of 6. You were talking to the 3. You know, they kind of just hunker down. They've got blankets, etc. They do set up their own watch. What do you guys want to do?
I suspect we'll do our own watch too because we still bounce them.
Watch the watchers.
Okay. I'll tell you what. We'll do 3 shifts then. Who's on the first shift? All right, Odie. The guy that speared you in the back is your buddy on this one. Just make me a luck check. Tell me high or low. Roll me that luck.
Baby. Baby. Please.
Ooh, nice.
73.
Yeah, I mean it goes through pretty well. You got the chatty, talkative orc, but of course you can't understand a word he said. You just nod along.
I probably could have at least taught some basic things like help and watch out and things like that. Just the very basic things.
Can I arm wrestle him?
If you want. He's trying to speak in Seloise, which is a human tongue, so you catch some words here and there. So mostly he's just telling you like, oh yeah, I got like 10 kids. My wife's you know, she's a real ball breaker, and you know, I like to take these hunts because I'd really like to be away from the home. I mean, you know, that's a lot of kids. They just scream all day. It's horrible.
Yeah.
just a list of complaints as to why he doesn't like to be at home.
My wife and kids, man, let me tell you. So many
Yeah.
kids. So many kids. Arm wrestle?
Okay.
Ha!
Sun missile.
Yes. 13 out of 16, baby.
Well, you got a pretty high strength, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm a brick shit house.
Oh yeah, you beat him. He's not too surprised. He's not too surprised at this. I mean, he's not the most strapping of orcs. He's just like, okay, here, have another ram horn.
Yes.
Pretty
I have two now.
sure,
I sell them to this guy named Ned in the village. But
Son of a
unless that orc has a worse strength than mine, it all beats him.
well, no, it's closest to your highest
Does it-
number, closest to your strength. Did I read that
Oh,
wrong?
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was it's the amount you roll under.
Nah,
That's what success seems to be. Oh, whatever.
it probably is, but I'm still using blackjack rules just because it's fun.
Well, it says things like success by 3, so it thinks it's
Mm.
amount under.
All right. Well, I mean, you kind of bond with this work a little bit, you know. That one goes by fine. Who's on second?
Me,
Okay, same thing. Give me a luck.
because I know Cedric and that needs to be up in the morning to pray.
Mm-hmm. High low luck check.
All right. Okay. Hi. Always hi, baby. Yep.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
about right.
Fairly uneventful. Your second is not talkative at all. Just kind of look out and it's fine. So it's the third watch that this happens on. Who would have been on third watch?
I'll go.
Okay, I don't need you to roll, Grimly. You're up. Last watch. They're preparing one of the mountain goats that they caught as a meal for the morning. So they've slaughtered one of them, you know, chopping it up, that sort of thing. And our missing player tonight gets out of a deep sleep, and he's got the Dream Singer blade, and he is up, and he is fighting something, and he's acting like he's surrounded. He's screaming out into the night, just like just in, you know, he's clearly in the battle for his life. And the orcs around them say, "Oh, your friend is fighting the ghosts."
We all have our demons.
No, ghosts. They're different to demons.
And then he holds up his
Somebody's got to
blade,
do it, right?
and he quiets down. He's breathing heavy, and he's looking around like he's stunned. And then he snaps out of it. He's like, "Grimly?
Are you okay, buddy?
No, no." It tells you about the dream that Dream Singer just gave him a vision of. It tells you that he's walking through a great cavern. Orcs are rushing towards him from tunnels all around. They're closing in, and suddenly the mass of them just fall to the ground in a magical slumber. But there's a strange effect he was seeing at just the edge of his eye. His sword, Dream Singer, was glowing, but there was another green glow from just behind him, and he couldn't turn to focus before he woke up.
Maybe that'll maybe you can put some orcs to sleep whenever we get into their camp.
It was hundreds of them, hundreds, just spewing out of the tunnels.
Well, as long as you can put them to sleep.
Yeah.
It's probably just a bad dream. We're heading into an orc encampment. I'm not feeling too good about this myself.
So you're talking in a dialect the orcs don't understand. So they kind of rib you grimly. They're like, "Your friend killed the ghosts?"
Yeah, he has these visions because he's a great warrior. Probably Grump's giving him visions of grandeur and combat prowess and glory. Yeah, that's it.
Just grunts, like, I guess. Doesn't sound like Roomish. Why he give puny humans with such visions?
Well, like they said earlier, because I mean we're dispensable, right? I mean, glory to the Orcish Empire and all.
Maybe if I took Blade, I would be blessed by Groomish.
But then you'd probably die during battle and not be able to lead your people as a great hero who found the saviors of uniting the blades. You will go down in legend because you found us first.
Dying not so bad. Have I told you about my 20 kids?
That would I could understand why you'd like to die.
Yeah, he just slaps you on the back. He does eye the blade for a moment, but he lets it go. So you guys carry on through the day, and you come to not quite at the lake. So you all you see the shimmering lake ahead of you there, and it tells you that they do fish there, but there are large creatures living in the lake. It makes it very dangerous. They try not to, but sometimes if they need the food enough, they'll go in there and they'll hunt. Or fish in this case. But as you come up, you see that the mountains are kind of riddled with caves all around the lake. Numerous ones. It looks like the water here at one time was much higher and infiltrated the caves, creating tunnels all through. And so to this point, they've just treated you like part of their hunting party. The one that's been talking to you, Bard, turns to you and say, "Now you Inkdal soon. You sure?"
We need to go in, and actually, I need to go.
Right.
As I say,
Yeah, I forgot to mention to folks, we were going to end just a little bit early tonight. Jameis had to take off, so we'll end it there with them asking, "Are you sure you want to go?" Okay. Karastan looks like he wants to make sure you all agree. He understands now that you're up against a very large... It's not just a few orcs. There's thousands. So he looks to each of you to make sure you all agree. Okay. Well, once he gets
Shrug not very confidently.
Yeah. Yeah, then we'll end it there as the orcs lead you to one of the caves close to the water line. And there we go. Jameis needs to take off. This is early in the afternoon for Jameis, so he has things to do to hang out with us.
And then late evening, I've got another work meeting. Yay!
Yay! Work! Yeah.
I gotta
thing. Go. All right, Jameis.
Hey, James.
Dion, why don't you tell us what's going on your streams?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with all my super cool awesome friends like you guys, yes, even you, I see you there, you can find me on my channel at Substances Used, where I play retro JRPG games and do a lot of GTA 5 roleplay. Suikoden series isn't going to work out until I figure out PS2 emulation, because it ran like a foot, and instead we're playing through FIDA, Emblem of Justice, which, if you want to know a vague idea of what that is, think Shining Force, but grizzled war veterans.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh, it's pretty cool. It's very dark, gritty-ish.
I got to break out a DOS game stream. I've got a Elvira 1 and 2 that I want to do eventually. Go through those.
Yes!
Cheesy old games. Oak, what do you got going on?
Probably about an hour. Should have some 5e homebrew going on tonight. And then we do the same again Friday nights at midnight central. And then I run a Grimdark homebrew midnight central on Saturday nights.
Good stuff. Bill, got anything going on with the Frog Gods?
Well, continuing with Lost City of Baracus, we're taking a short break because I think Total Con is this weekend. So
Ooh,
a lot of my players are headed that way. But yeah, doing that in my Dwaro Deep game, if either interests you. I run them using Swords and Wizardry. Hit me up and I'll get you in the game.
Good stuff. And if you found us, you know where we are, but check out Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. All of our links to all of our social media sites are there, as well as our podcast, which we've been going on for about 14 years now. So lots of good stuff there. Thanks, guys. We were down some players tonight, and Jameis had to drop out early, so I didn't want to get into a big combat, but we got you to Ink Doll, and we'll pick it up there next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.